Today, President Biden also announcing a ban on imports of Russian oil and other energy to his country. The United Kingdom doing the same thing. Here's more from the president.
That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. This is a move that has strong bipartisan support in the Congress and, I believe, in the country. Americans have rallied to support the Ukrainian people and made it clear we will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war.
You might not be surprised to know that Russia is now the most sanctioned country as a result of its decision to start a war. Take a look. Russia has more sanctions against it than Iran, Syria, North Korea, Venezuela, Myanmar, Cuba, and more sanctions are coming each and every day, targeting the economy, politicians, billionaires, oligarchs, the elite, and on it goes. But let's get more on the implications of the Americans' decision now to stop Russian energy imports. Richard Madden is in Washington with more. Richard, your sense of what this will mean?
Well, this is one of those rare moments of bipartisanship that President Biden has seized upon. Both Democrats and Republicans are urging the administration to cut off Russia from importing oil here in the U.S., even if that means higher prices at the gas pumps or for really anything involving energy, whether it's transportation or products that people buy on store shelves. So President Biden making this move. It's worth noting on two fronts. First and foremost, the U.S. really imports anywhere between 3 to 8% of its oil from Russia. It's not a lot, but it is enough. And so now the U.S. is boosting its stockpiles to alleviate the energy crunch that's due to come from this. But number two, they're looking at other countries to source its oil. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Venezuela, and that is a lot of Americans, both Republicans and Democrats, up in arms saying, why are you replacing one dictator with another? Many are saying it's time now to look at Canada to boost its oil reserves there. So enter Alberta Premier Jason Kenney, who's leaving Alberta and is at a major conference later today in Houston where he'll try to sell the Alberta oil advantage to the United States. There's a lot of internal politics here. We know that on day one of the Biden administration, they canceled the Keystone Pipeline that would transmit oil from the Alberta oil sands to get refined down to Texas. There's now growing pressure from within, not only just within moderate Democrats, but also Republicans to maybe kickstart that project once again. But even then, that won't get oil flowing anytime. The Keystone Pipeline will take years to get oil flowing. So there's pressure now to perhaps get more oils from the Canadian oil sands to bring them down here to get refined. So this Russia-Ukraine conflict has really upended the geopolitics and energy security questions here in North America. Second thing I want to bring up is that Russia's economy generally wasn't a superpower, but what Russia had been doing for years, decades, it's basically been the world's gas station, supplying 12% of the world's energy markets, 12% of oil around the world. So if you cut Russia out of the equation, that oil is going to find a home. The question is, where will North America get its energy? Will it become more energy independent? And of course, the bigger pressure from this are European countries. The UK plans to wean off Russian oil over the next few years, but Europe is more dependent on Russian oil than North America is.
Tell me as well, Richard, about the pressure that the Biden administration is under in terms of gas prices. You know, we just see so many questions at these news conferences to the White House about what are they doing to help American drivers as gas prices are soaring. You know, it's one thing to say, well, this is all about Russia, this is all about Ukraine, but for a lot of Americans, you know, they're concerned about their pocketbook as well.
Well, the messaging from the White House is they're saying, you know, blame Putin. This is Putin's war and it's having a direct impact on energy prices. But Biden's been facing tremendous economic pressure for months. Remember, we've had a supply chain crisis down here. We've had runaway inflation. But when you factor in high energy prices, that trickles down to just about everything, from transportation costs to jet fuel to moving goods to market. Oil is used in plastics to build stuff. So that has a ripple effect all across the economy, and you're seeing gas prices at records high, particularly in California and other states where Biden is urging consumers that he has a plan, that he's going to tap the strategic oil reserves here in the U.S. I believe this morning he said they're going to tap some 60 million barrels of oil as a way to reduce that pressure to keep energy prices low. But when you are just a few months ahead of the midterm elections and the Democrats and Republicans are looking at this from a political lens, that you better believe that runaway gas prices and inflation's could drag down the Democrats as we head into November's key vote. So there's tremendous economic and there's tremendous political pressure facing this White House right now.